A live look at western Florida as residents who haven't left yet brace for Hurricane Irma's onslaught. Hello and welcome to a special edition of Justice. I'm Judge Janine Pirro. Thanks for being with us tonight. The outer bands have moved in, and tens of thousands in the Sunshine State are already out of power. With the brunt of Irma now just a few hours away from lashing the Florida Keys and moving north up the western part of the state. We have live TV coverage tonight of what could be a history-making storm. We'll get a live update on Irma's track in just a few moments, but we begin with Adam Housley in Key Largo, which is in its direct path. Adam?
Yeah, Judge, you know, we actually moved from the other side of the island about an hour and a half to 2 hours ago. That was the ocean side. We're now on the bay side. Over here, the wind, you can't hear it. The wind is still blowing actually pretty good on this side. We're kind of back in a little area that's protected from the wind. You can hear it. You can't necessarily see it, but the rain's really starting to come down heavy now. We didn't have this heavy of a rain before. That's picked up significantly now since we've moved to this side of the island. You can see it come down all around. When we drove around earlier when there was still light, you can see that much of the Keys is deserted. Many people who normally stay for storms, who've stayed for storms in the past, including 25 years ago for that epic storm, Hurricane Andrew, many of those folks got out this time. They said, we're not going to challenge this, we're not going to test it, and they left. There are some still here, though, and there's some that are here not by choice. Folks that maybe tried to get a plane ticket, tried to find some place to go, didn't want to go to a shelter. Some of them are staying at a hotel here in town that's Category 5 rated. We ran into them earlier today. Here's what was some of their reasons why they stayed. Take a listen.
Well, we couldn't get out. Our flights were canceled. We got stuck. We'd be stuck in Fort Lauderdale. It wasn't worth it. And where can you drive? You can't drive anywhere. So we're here.
Now, the power is out in parts of the Keys, not everywhere. Some power actually came back on in Key Largo. Our quadrant where we are, unfortunately, is still out, but there's widespread power outages all around here. As you can see, the rain's coming down. The storm surge we started to see on the other side, and Judge, before we left there, but you see the water start to lapping over. Some of the docks went under. We saw at least 4 boats destroyed, blown up against the rock jetties that their anchors weren't able to hold them. We're starting to see some of that same type of feel behind us when we walk out here in the dark. You can't see it on the camera, but you're seeing those boats really sway and move. The anchors are unwilling to hold them at some point. And as you can tell, perfect timing, right when we came on with you, the rain is really starting to come down. We could get us up at 20 inches by some estimations. It really depends on what the storm does. And as you can tell by the track, it's really changed a lot. And people say it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is for those down here. I mean, 10 miles this way, 10 miles that way means you're either on the bad side or the good side. So right now we're on the bad side, and the Keys are really bracing for this, Judge. It's going to be probably a very long next 18 hours to 24 hours. Back to you.
You know, Adam, just a quick question. When you talk about a Category 5 hotel, and I imagine a lot of people, just as that woman had just indicated, weren't able to get out or didn't expect it to be this bad. What is a Category 5 hotel, and how do you get into it? And if you can't, if it's full, then where do you go?
Right, very good question. You know, and some of the viewers have asked about it. It's not about us, but just to kind of explain, because we're part of that question as well. When you come to these type of things, the last thing you want to do is have the authorities worry about you. They've already got all the locals they've got to worry about who decided to stay. So when you try to find a hotel like that, you go look for certain things. A hotel that's usually masonite block built, it usually has 2 or 3 stories up, so you don't have to worry about a storm surge because you're up above water. In our hotel's case, it only has windows on one side. It's only 1 window per room, and they have built-in metal storm shutters that I closed myself, and they come down like a safe. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for wind to get in there, and they're locked, so the wind even can't pick them up. The roofs generally are cement, or they have very strong metal roofs. Ours, we're on the 2nd story, so we have a cement floor above us. So you look for those type of things. That's what it means to be category rated. And a lot of the building codes were changed in Florida after Andrew. And this hotel, we were told, was built about that time. And if you look around, you can kind of tell, too, you don't want to go into a wood structure. You want something that's really going to be sturdy, generally up, and able to withstand the wind and the water. Here, we could get depths of 9 feet on a storm surge. On this side, probably not. This side, more like maybe 3 feet of a storm surge. But we're going to get a lot of rain and a lot of wind. Judge?
Okay. All right, Adam, stay safe. Adam Housley, thanks so much from Key Largo.
That we want to bring now and Reed Timmer, who is a storm chaser and extreme meteorologist for the Weather Channel, and he joins us now via Skype. Reed, where are you right now? What can you tell us about what the conditions are? Wow.
Yeah, I'm in Key West, and the eye wall is approaching from the east. The winds are about to gust probably over 130 miles an hour here, maybe stronger. You can already see trees down. I am on Duval Street here, and the Gulf side is down in that way. The Atlantic side is the other side, and we do expect that storm surge to be coming barreling down Duval Street. Once that eye wall comes to shore here, that's when the winds are going to ramp up 115 miles an hour plus. It'll likely blow me down the road here if that does happen, and that's going to be the next hour or so. That's when the eye wall is going to impact Key West.
So, Reed, what do you expect as far as water? Key West, right in the eye of this, as you said. The wind is going to pick up. I presume you're holding on to something there. You won't be able to do that much longer. And then what about the water as well?
Yeah, the water's a big concern. The storm surge with a hurricane like this, especially on Key West, an island that's so low, or very well could completely be submerged in water, except for a few areas that are above that 10 feet in elevation. And so we do expect that storm surge to come right as the eye wall comes in. That's piling up the water. We're going to have northeasterlies here, so we're also going to have a surge off of the Gulf side. But I can see easily here water 2-3 feet deep. A few blocks down the road, it'll likely be 10 feet deep right along the Gulf there, and homes will be inundated all over the island. So it is definitely time to hunker down. If you did hold out, you're still here, hunker down, because that eye wall is about to get here at about 7 a.m.
Wow, well, I can't imagine anyone else is out there. To be clear, you are very well trained for this, Reed. At what point does it become too dangerous for you to be out there? We're talking winds that are going to get up to above 100 miles per hour. Is that too dangerous, as well as trained as you are, to be doing this?
Yeah, definitely. Once that eye wall comes in, I'll seek shelter in the concrete here. And then when that storm surge comes up, that's when it'll go up in floor as well. So it'll be on the second or third floor.
And that's when we can expect the big surges that we've been hearing about, the 10 to 15 feet of water?
Yeah, that's when the big surge is going to happen. It could be 5 to 10 feet here in Key West. The big surge will also be southwest Florida, up Naples as well, Port Charlotte area. As the storm heads north, the Everglades will be inundated by that storm surge. And so sunrise will be here soon, right when that eye wall arrives.
Wow. Reed Timmer, amazing stuff and incredible footage. I'm glad you've got a place to shelter in eventually, and we'll probably come back to you and check in.